Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Thank you for joining me at lostrelicgaming. I'm Relic. Today, I felt like bringing you something a little more mellow, a bit more laid back than most of what I've played so far, and I couldn't think of anything more fitting of that description than a truly beautiful indie game that took the world by storm last year. Sit back, relax, and please enjoy Blueprince.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Welcome into Blueprince, folks. This is Relic. You're joining me on Lost Relic Gaming. Let's take a look at this beautiful roguelike. Roguelite? I think it's a roguelite. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or other items may be brought into the estate from outside. Tools and items found on the estate on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. Oh, listen to that music. It's so good. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice: do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead." With all my love and wishes, best of luck, Herbert S. Sinclair. Mount Holly Blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventure. You may access the blueprint menu by pressing Tab. We're in the entrance hall. You've got to get to the antechamber. We have 50 steps. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. Let's get a dead end out of the way immediately. Get some track shoes, save us some steps. Occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the estate and grounds. And we will gain 1 ivory die. While drafting, you may use a die to reroll new floor plans. Alright. Stay on rank 1. Move to the side. Don't like picking the den so soon. Suppose we'll line the hallway with dead ends. Pick up the garage key. The car keys, rather. Beautiful. Now let's travel up. Now we'll take the den. Nothing in it. No, not true. There's a gem. Gems are good. We travel east. Start off with the spare room. Well, now the east corridor is going to be a dead end. We'll take the nook and take a key. A journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on the journey. That's actually a good point. I wrote a lot of stuff down in my first playthrough. got nothing that will branch to the right. Walk-in closet, storeroom. The walk-in closet's nice. We'll spend a gem, go in there. Get a key. 2 gems. And lockpick. Very nice. We're off to a decent start. Back to 50 steps left. Corridor to get us straight through. Bedroom. To turn right. We'll go corridor. Opens up more options. A spiral staircase. 4 stars. West Wing Hall. Maximum utility. Gotta try to not waste branching rooms in this game. Nursery. When you drive to bedroom, gain 5 steps. Get the lavatory out of the way. Let's do that. I'm not going to waste my steps going in there. Just take my word for it. There's nothing there. Red rooms will continue to come up, and they'll continue to be a thorn in your side if you let them. So it's best to get them out of the way early if you can. We've got kitchen. We've got veranda. Let's use both our gems. Why not? May regret that later, but for now it's okay. Metal detector. Mounds of dirt make a difference later on, but for now, they don't. Got a nice view of the outside. Parlor, pantry, and observatory all bend to the right. We'll take parlor. Gems are more important than coins in this game. Take the wind-up key. May the 2nd, dear Herbert. It was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, Mike Lowry. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. Only one box has a prize within, the other 2 are always empty. The black box contains gems. This box and the blue box are empty. All 3 boxes are empty. Well, that one's obviously false. So for this one to be true, this one would have to be false. which is a paradox. So this one's true, this one's false, this one's false. Let's get our gems. And we move on. Let's try the lockpick. That worked. Bedroom, dining room, commissary. The dining room's a powerful room. It's a three-way split. If we can get to rank 8, and then we'll backtrack to here, we get a pretty good meal out of it, which gives us a whole bunch of extra steps. We're at 46 now. Let's head south. Security. Security's a great room. We're wasting one of the exits, but it's better to make sure you get security in, because you can unlock a lot of things moving forward. This is one of the few times where you actually get to see your character. Simon and Garfunkel. No, just Simon. Just listen. That music's beautiful. Memos true, red memos lies, unless written by hand. Okay. Anything in this room? No. Just the terminal. Welcome to Mount Holly Security. Press enter. View estate inventory, keycard system. Log into network. Okay, this shows you things that appear in rooms you've already unlocked. So the fact that it says 0 across the board means we didn't miss anything. Go back to the main menu, keycard system. Keycard system settings. And here's where we take a risk. In offline mode, you always want to set to unlocked. Security settings, or security level rather. This is how many security doors there are. We can set it to low, or we can set it to high. We're going to set it to high. And hopefully, we'll show you why within the next handful of rooms. Log into network, terminal password. I do remember it, but we haven't encountered it yet in this playthrough, so I'm not gonna cheat my way through. Back in the middle column. Chapel, hallway, and kitchen. We have 1 gem. We have no coins. Chapel would be wasted though. Kitchen is the only one that's only got 1 exit. Hallway would be pretty good though. Let's go hallway. Doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Let's go bedroom. Alright, here's our first chest. We've got keys. Can't use the lockpick on the chests, but we can use the keys. And that's a lot of coin. Look at that. Beautiful. Got a pawn. We've got a lock. We've got a clock. Greetings from Reddington. And how do you flip it? There's a way to flip it over. I just don't know on PC how to do it. So there was a clue in this room. Again, I remember it from my first playthroughs, but well, I suppose knowing it doesn't really do much at the moment, so we'll pretend we didn't see it. So now the chapel's going to cost coins. Well, we could open the commissary, spend some of our coins instead. Blocks still not working. I was hoping they would have patched that in by now. With, so we have, and then without. Okay, so there's the clue that I was talking about. With, there's a hand, there's a match, there's a fire. This is a tree, but if you try to relate them to each other, you can figure out fire with, fur without. Commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Sorry for any inconvenience. Staff notice. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals in the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password. Scribbled out. I wonder. What do we have in the commissary? We have a gem for 3 coins, a salt shaker for 5, a shovel for 6, and a key for 10. Since we've got the lockpicks, the key is not necessarily our best choice. The shovel, however, I like the shovel. That leaves us with 8. Shovel looks like it could be useful for digging. Remember those dirt piles? Salt shaker. Whenever you eat food, gain 1 step extra. And then we'll take a gem. We'll take another gem. We can't take another gem. There's 4 left. But we only have 1 coin. So now, there it is. The utility closet. We've got a key. Got a panel. Keycard entry system. Off. So the gamble paid off. Alright. And then here we've got some indicators. I know the answer to that as well, but we haven't found it yet. So we're going to pretend we don't know. These ones, however, no sense in pretending about those ones. I'm gonna put those in the preferable positions. We've got stage and sage. Those clues are useful. The bedroom will give us those 2 steps back, though. Okay. Into security. Back into the dining room. And straight across. Here, it would be nice if we had 2 gems, but we don't. The chapel will take our last coin, but that's okay. This room is full of clues that you will find out about later. Let's head west. Try the lockpick. That worked. So we've got the patio. That's no good. Got the gymnasium. When you enter it, you lose 2 steps. Are you sure about that? Because if I recall correctly, we turned off the light in the utility closet. That stops us from losing those 2 steps. So we waste a door, but we've already negated the drawback of this red room, which red rooms have drawbacks, like the lavatory, has nothing in it. It's just basically a dead draw. That's why I like to get it out of the way as soon as possible. Gymnasium, you lose 2 steps. Chapel, you lose 1 coin, etc. So we've got boudoir, mailroom, courtyard. I'm gonna roll the dice here. Looking for something we did not get. How many steps to that utility closet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So that would be 12 steps wasted. Sure. Here's the dark room. Lights go off. Remember that switch in the utility closet? I do. It's costing us steps. Come on, track shoes. Oh, there we go. It saved a step. Turn the lights back on in the dark room. Into the chapel. Back to the gymnasium. saved another step. And now the darkroom light is on, which allows us to see this. But we are missing an important piece. Print notes. HS has requested yet another print of her ladyship, I assume for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of those of the enclosed photograph. He said the last development was too dark, so keep an eye on that. Got the battery. Provides juice to battery-powered contraptions. That's actually a pretty rare item in this game. Stay in the West Wing. Here we have security door. The security door is disabled. Wine cellar, patio, nursery. None are ideal. Patio gives us gems. Gives us a key. Salt shaker gives us an extra step, so we get 3 from the apple instead of 2. Occasionally, you may discover small mounds of dirt in certain rooms of the estate. With a shovel, one may be able to excavate these suspicious dig spots. We happen to have a shovel. We got a coin. Okay. Vault. Can't go there, it takes 3 gems. Conference room. Bunk room. Whenever items are spread throughout the house, they're placed in this room instead. Unfortunately, the patio just did that spreading. Bunk room counts as 2 bedrooms. Two bananas. Got an Atari 2600 over there. Got a hamster. Hello, hamster. We have a note. Today is a good day because Simon is at camp and he is not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys, and I will not have to share my room, and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Herbie is mean and really stupid, and today is a good day because I threw away his airplane. I also had more fun at camp than he had in his entire life. Today's a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it too. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back, and if he does it again, he will not get to go to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book because he won't stop writing. Writing about me, and today is a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book, even though he is older. He is a crybaby. Today is a good day because today my brother returns from college and I get to finally return to him the book I took from him a long time ago. Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way, crossed out. I still would rather have had a sister. Congrats on the diploma and welcome home. Simon. Alright, we're getting some backstory there. We've got, let's see what they have in common, what they might have in common. Necktie and clock. So, tie, time. go back to the chapel, take the locked door, or we could take the locked door right from the dark room and save some steps. We could try. Can't pick the lock. So now, do we use keys? Do we use a key? Or do we backtrack? Let's use a key. We've got 4, we've got a lockpick. Okay, boudoir won't do us much good. Aquarium's the only one that goes through. Luckily we have the gem necessary. And this would have been a pretty short run. Got a coin. This is a very, very cool aquarium. And that ticking you're hearing is the sound of metal. The gems don't set it off, but coins and keys do. The fish. More fish. I like the miniatures of the rooms in the house. Let's dig with our shovel. Turnip, +6. With salt is +7. We've got a lot of steps left for halfway through the house. Let's try a lockpick, save a key. Storeroom and nursery are both dead ends, so pantry it is. Pantry's always got an apple. It's always got 4 coins. And it's got this note. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. We've got a painting of the earth. We've got a biplane. Planet. Plane. I get it. Alright. Maid's chamber. Less likely to find items at the boudoir. The conference room. Let's take the conference room because it goes north. And here's where you'd see items spread out. Spreading items. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several of the rooms currently on your estate. However, if you have a conference room, spread items are gathered into that room instead. Safe code 9083. Reminder, after meeting adjourns, take all conference notes and place them in the office safe. That's the only one that has a note. And we go north. Mail room, billiard room, observatory. It's disappointing that we can't go west. But alas, that's the way it is. We're pretty far along. I'm gonna pick the billiard room. Ding, ding, ding. Dining room. Rank 8. Okay. Play some pool. Uh-oh. We've got a broken lever. Could prove useful. 17 minus 10. Yes, nice math. That's 6. Now, if you didn't know what these all are, pressing the wrong number just resets it. So, rather than pretend to stumble through, I might stumble on the math, but I know how to get through this. 2 times 6, 12, 17, minus 15, times 2. We have a silver key. Unlocking a door with the silver key leads to a room with many doors. Not exactly the special key I was hoping for, but house hose for those keeping track. Alright, do we want many doors? Can't look at the blueprints from there. We do want several doors, so let's use the special key right off the bat. Chamber of Mirrors, Weight Room, Rotunda. Yikes. So much for having a lot of steps. We know this is open. Mailroom, secret passage, kitchen. I like the mailroom. It's a good place for it. Order placed. Please return all correspondence and packages addressed to Danny Ravane to sender, as he is no longer employed within our staff. There's stuff down there. Utility room, fuse box, indicator settings. More detailed instructions will be sent by electronic mail to the address client has provided. Press any button to activate blue. Press a blue indicator next to a red indicator to activate purple. 5 purple needed to activate the 6th. We have something metal. We also have a letter addressed to Simon from Dad. Hey buddy, how's it going up there in that big house? I think most people would be pretty scared being alone for this length of time, but I have a feeling you're doing just fine. I imagine you happy as a clam, perfectly content on the estate with the exploration and opportunities for adventure that present themselves each day. As I'm writing this, you're currently in the garage packing the tent. I wanted to try to post this letter before we depart tomorrow so that it has a chance to arrive during your first few days on the estate, but not without all the preparations. I'm not sure that I'm going to find the time. Yeah, I read that wrong. But with all the preparations. There's so much I want to say. I'm sure I'll forget to tell you Friday night. Sometimes it's easier for me to just jot stuff down. You're yelling at me right now to come bring you a pillowcase. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I can tell you're really excited, but I think you might feel a little guilty about being so happy the day after the funeral. Believe me, I know how long Uncle Herbert worked on setting this up for you, and I know from our conversations just how much happiness this final project brought him. So do both of us a favor. Be excited. This house is really amazing. I know it's been almost 7 years since we were last up there, and I'm really curious to hear just how much you remember from those summer trips. You've always been smarter than me at this kind of thing, so I'm not sure how much guidance or inspiration I can offer before your trip that will actually be useful to you. Despite my best intentions, I'm sure that on Friday I'll end up leaving you with a few of my overused cliché expressions when we say farewell. Later, alligator. Dad. P.S. Get some sleep each night and don't spend all your time each day playing Dirigiblocks. I want to play Dirigiblocks. Hey, there's the coin that's setting off the metal detector. Mailroom. Package will be delivered here the day after drafting this room. So I think to get it, I actually have to draft a mailroom again. But I also think that because I drafted it today, it's much more likely to show up tomorrow. Alright, let's see. Oh, office opens to the left, but we don't have the gems for it. So, we're now officially locked out of the antechamber. Doesn't mean there's nothing left for us to do. It does mean that we're not going to finish on day one. We won't reach the antechamber on the first day. There's more to it than that anyway, but let's go back to the weight room. Open up this door. Use the lockpick. What have we got? Laboratory. Experimental house features. That's a pretty good one. That is a pretty good room. Let's go with it. I'm not gonna just randomly flip until we get it. I just wanted to have a little fun. I like that sound effect. Alright, no items to be had in this room, however, there is a computer. Welcome to the Mount Holly Laboratory. Experiment setup. In the laboratory, you're free to experiment by testing and combining different mechanics to create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. For each bedroom you draft after your second, set your steps to 40. That's pretty nice, considering we're at 16. Immediately set your steps to 40. That's also very nice when you draft a shop room. Okay. Permanently add 1 gold to your allowance is also nice. We don't have a whole lot of more rooms that we can draft. So if we got this early, I'd say whenever you draft a shop room, or for each bedroom after your second. Hold on. Let me take a look here real quick. We may only have 1 room left to choose. Let's not be greedy about it. Let's immediately add gold. Now my allowance has been raised. Experiment successful. Effective immediately, electronic mail can only be accessed via the security terminal. It's a red note, but it's not handwritten. Oh, right, okay. So we got an arrow pointing there. We got a periodic table. I don't exactly remember this puzzle, so I'm not gonna fret. I'm just going to hit print screen. There we go. Machine requires additional power piped in from the boiler room. That's right. So it would have just been a complete waste of time for me to try to figure that out right now anyway. So we've got East Wing Hall, we've got workshop, we've got kitchen. Let's go workshop. What What have we here? I wanna be your sledgehammer. Can shatter padlocks. We can combine stuff. I just don't remember what stuff. Aha. There we go. Battery pack, sledgehammer, broken level, power hammer, assemble. Beautiful. That's a good thing to get on the first playthrough. A stronger sledgehammer that can also knock down weaker brick walls. "15 steps remain." And there's something else in here. A couple coins. That's pretty good. The freezer gives us coins and gems carried over to tomorrow. Let's go freezer, set ourselves up for day 2. First, not for staff use, Master Sinclair's personal freezer. Not exactly what I meant to do, but that's alright. There's stuff frozen in there. Lots of frozen things, including coins and gem. In the weight room, we have interesting use for the power sledge. The destruction of structural elements of the house-like walls is not permanent and will reset every few days. That's a pretty important map right there. Let's pull a lever. See an antechamber door open. We can't get to it, but it shows us the mechanic. Alright, so now if we get the chance to draft a gymnasium again over the next few days, take it. Let's head to the billiard room, see if we can't make it back to that kitchen. The dining room, rather, not the kitchen. It looks like we can. Cut through the chapel, and there it is, right on the other side. Keep our coin. And we get some delicious fish. Dinner is served. Today's main course, lemon glazed salmon. Charbroiled Cajun spiced salmon, lemon butter sauce, served over spinach leaf, plus 20 steps, plus an additional 10 if you have an aquarium in your house. So now, we're back up to 38, 39 steps. Thank you, Salt. Lots of steps to go. No openings to speak of. However, where do we want to go here? Straight? No. Want to go right, then left, straight, left, straight, right. Right, left. That coin does us no good. Another key. I'd like to hop this railing. Back to the entryway. Well, what good does that do us? Let's go find out. Take a look here. Gate's locked. Take a look here. Can't interact. Let's see what's down here. The power sledge, getting it done. We saved a step there with our tennis shoes, track shoes, whichever they're called. High pressure condenser. Okay. Alright. Another wall to take down. Here, we enter the basement. This is a fairly big puzzle room. This key does not fit. Well, shoot. What about this? Does that fit? Not sure doing this is really going to do me much good for now. I think that's where we want it. Oh, I see. Did not do those things in the correct order. Still missing something. Order of operations matters. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I don't need to go back that way. I need to go this way. But for this to work, I need that back. There, we'll be able to get the right way. Yes. Okay. Where'd that ladder go? Crapola. Did I do that wrong? I believe I did. Alright, well. Let's go here. Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. Antechamber entry controls. Well, we've seen that. Although we've seen the secret lever. It's behind the wall in the gymnasium rather than the one in the greenhouse. Okay. Now this. We can put this in place. Put this back. Now, third tries the charm. Another secret. That does us no good right now. Not from there. This, on the other hand, does help out. Permanently add the mechanarium to your drafting pool. Sure. And we've got the full underground map. Foundation elevator, concealed entrance, cliffside exit, minecart, fountain entrance, tomb entrance, torch chamber, rotating gear, and to north lever. Okay. As of right now, that's all we can do down here. However, we still have 32 steps. More exploration is called for. Head back out the way we came in. Just take a look. Darkness. Okay. Nothing for us there at the moment. Head back up the steps. And we'll take the only path left open. Let's save the step with the track shoes. Knock, knock. Nope. Got a closed gate. Here we've got the campsite where we must spend our nights. Due to the rules set forth in your great uncle's will, you are not allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very respectable off-site sleeping quarters. You may call it a day at any time from the blueprint menu tab to return to the campsite for the night. Okay. This is closed. We've got this up here. It's another case of something that I'm not going to spoil just because I have foreknowledge. Alright, so with these 31 steps remaining, all further routes seem to be locked. But there is one thing left to do. Where is that? There you are. It's a bit of a hike. But we've got the steps, so let's use them. Step saved. Dining room. We'll go right for security. Go left. Back to the commissary. And here it is, the utility closet. I don't think I'm doing this right. Okay. Okay, so there's what we have to do. Purple. 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 And purple. It's supposed to do something. Again. Well, maybe it doesn't do what I remember it doing. But look, it's pretty. Alright. It seems that we are now at an impasse. It's time for us to call it a day. Reset all the rooms with the exception of frozen assets and allowance. Here's our playthrough. That's a pretty big house for a first run. Mount Holly Red Inn. 6 red rooms, 5 bedrooms. Total of 34. Rank 9 reached. 77 steps taken. 10 items found. And there we go. There's day 1 of Blueprince. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Leave a comment. Maybe share the stream. It's not a stream. Maybe share the link. And we'll see you next time. This is Relic from Lost Relic Gaming. I am out of here. Peace.